Oh, yeah. She's throwing a goal back. Yeah, extra step.
I'm good. How are you?
I said Raymond, but I meant.
You did say Raymond. I was gonna let it slide.
I was talking.
Oh, you weren't talking to me. Well, then I'm not doing good. Just kidding.
Sorry about that.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Burnett County Judge Brian Wilson. I now call our Burnett County Commissioners Court to order. Today is Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. The time is now 9:03 to begin this meeting. We are meeting in the historic Burnett County Courthouse located at 220 South Pierce Street, Burnett County, Texas, on the second floor courtroom. I now call agenda item number 2, invocation and pledges. We begin the meeting with prayer. I ask Brian Sam, Senior Pastor with First Baptist Church in Burnett, Texas, to please come to the lectern and ask God's blessing on our Burnett County and this meeting. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you for being here, Mr. Sam.
Yes, sir. Heavenly Father, today we recognize that all government, authority, and power comes from you. We recognize that you are in absolute control. You rule the universe. We are thankful that you have appointed leaders for this county. Thank you for the families, the people that live here. I pray that the decisions that are made are filled with your wisdom, and that every leader would understand that leadership is ultimately stewardship. We've been entrusted with tremendous responsibility. And so today we pray that everything that happens will be governed under your word that says, whoever is among you, let him be your servant. And I pray for your wisdom, for your help, your strength, and your guidance through every word that is spoken. We pray it in the mighty, exalted name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
And please join me in the pledges to our flags. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor to Texas. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
I'm going to change the order up a little bit. We've got some special guests, and I want to recognize and give an opportunity. One of the things that we do here at Burnett County is to work with our county employees to work diligently to stay healthy. We have an insurance plan, but I'm going to go ahead. I call agenda item number 5, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding health presentations and adopting the resolution to promote county employee health. So do you have anything to say? You want to open this up and introduce it? Okay, yeah, I'll read the proclamation first, number 5. Oh. Hang on, get the readers. Resolution to promote county employee health, a resolution of the Burnett County Commissioners Court supporting a healthy county workforce. Whereas the health and well-being of our county employees directly affect the quality, efficiency, and continuity of public services. Healthy employees experience fewer illnesses, lower absenteeism, improved morale, and increased productivity. Chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and mental health conditions are among the leading drivers of healthcare costs. The Commissioners Court recognizes that promoting wellness benefits employees, their families, and the residents of Burnett County. Investing in prevention and healthy lifestyles can reduce long-term healthcare expenditures while improving quality of life. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Commissioners of Burnett County, Texas, do hereby commit to promoting a culture of health by encouraging the physical activity through workplace wellness opportunities, supporting preventative health care, including annual wellness exams and recommended screenings, promoting mental health awareness and access to available employee assistance resources, encouraging healthy food options at county meetings and facilities when practical, supporting tobacco-free and smoke-free county workplaces in accordance with applicable laws, encouraging departments to participate in wellness challenges and education programs, working with the county's health insurance provider to identify wellness initiatives that may improve employee health and reduce healthcare costs, reviewing wellness program outcomes annually and considering opportunities for continued improvement. Being further resolved that the Commissioners Court encourages collaboration among county departments, local healthcare providers, schools, businesses, and community organizations to improve the overall health of county residents. Be it further resolved that this resolution become effective immediately upon adoption, adopted this the 25th day of August, 2026.
Good morning, Shelley Denton, Healthy County Coordinator, and thank you for the resolution. It's an ongoing battle, with employees to try to create a healthy environment. So before we get to TAC, we do have some county policies that we have implemented, such as the gym membership reimbursement, which is great because all of our gyms can participate in this program. And we do have some here today. We have the athletic club here, Bertram Fitness, and I thought the Y was coming, but I didn't see Gary. But they all participate in this program with us. So it's a great asset to the employees that have this opportunity. And we encourage them to take advantage of that. We also have a wellness policy that we promote them going to get a physical once per year. And we have a health fair coming up on September 9th, which the health fair has a lot of community businesses that can help them in all facets of their health journey. So I'm would really encourage all department heads, elected officials to try to get your employees to the health fair to learn about what these community businesses can do for them in their health journey. As well as the county level, we have TAC that is behind us, which is great. And they have—
For people that don't know, what is TAC?
Texas Association of
Thank you.
Counties.
Okay.
So thank you. They have a variety of programs that offer to us, and it's so many that I think we need to talk about it more to remind people what they are, because you can get confused. We have so many. So Ashley's going to tell y'all, or inform everyone, of the positive impact a healthy employee could make.
Thank you, Shelley. Good morning.
Good morning. Morning.
How are you all doing? All right. So I'm Ashley Whitfield. I'm the wellness supervisor at TAC, Texas Association of Counties, work specifically with the health pool. And so you all do have your benefits, your medical plan, pharmacy plan through TAC, Health and Employee Benefits Pool. And so along with that comes the Worksite Wellness Program, which Shelley was referring to. So first off, I do want to just take a moment to just share my excitement. Previously, before I was a wellness supervisor, I was your wellness consultant from 2019 to 2024. And so being able to see just the culture shift and the transformation that you guys have made, especially with taking this step. It's just something that I'm excited about, and I'm happy that I was able to be a part of, and kind of excited that your current wellness consultant was double booked, and so I was able to come out here for this moment. Also, again, just being able to recognize that culture shift and the positive changes that you guys have done with the different policies that have been implemented, the health fair that is being held, as well as you guys continue to do that. And just want to commend you all for your leadership in taking this next step to invest and support the healthier lifestyles for your employees. I do always like to say it's about patterns, not perfection. So although we are making this step, we do know that life is life and reality is reality, but we want to make sure that we do create those opportunities for employees to not always just continue to kind of be there, but being able to be present in the moment. All right, so when we're talking about our health, we're talking about a holistic approach. Things that happen at home affect us at work. Things that happen at work impact us at home. So we want to make sure that we look at that as a bigger picture, and then also knowing that being able to create this positive culture, as you read in the proclamation, also then extends out to the community as well. And so just thinking about it on two lenses, so talking about employees as well, being able to know that employees that do embrace a wellness experience have more energy, they have a higher quality of life, they have fewer health problems and less pain and better sleep, and then a longer health span and quality of life as well. And then we always talk about the R word, retirement. I like to say that you want to retire to something and not from something. And so being able to support employees while they are here to allow them to have that next chapter to live the life that they would like to live, whether it is spending time with their grandchildren, whether it is traveling, making sure that we can set them up as well with all of the resources that we do have with Healthy County as well. And then simultaneously thinking about you all as the employer. So being able to see those controlled claim costs, improved productivity as well. You have loyalty from employees, reduced absenteeism and workers' comp claims as well. And then also that's going to lead to that healthier workforce and also a happier workforce as well. And so thinking about the fact that everyone is going to come out on the right side when we want to embrace Healthy County and healthy counties. So this is just only the beginning. I truly want to emphasize being able to reap the full rewards that you all can with this proclamation and actually living it out, and not just being a statement, but being an action that you take. Is going to help you go forward. Is going to help you talk about all those things that we have talked. Reducing those health costs, being able to improve the quality of life of your employees as well. And then just again, reemphasizing what Shelley said, we're here as TAC to support you guys, to help guide in whatever facet that you allow us to. So we have many different resources. We have many different programs to help support, educate employees as well, and just keep things going. And so this is a journey. You're not going it alone. That's what TAC was mandated in the legislative at the beginning, back in the 60s. So that's what we're here to do, not just on the health side, on the risk side, legislative, legal, all the different services that we have. But I do just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to speak. And again, I am thankful to be able to be present as you guys do implement and adopt, fingers crossed, the proclamation that you guys have presented.
Thank you. All right. In a minute, just 1 second. Also, I've invited some of our local gyms, actually the 3 gyms that I was aware of in the county. Do y'all want to say anything, Ms. Fetterman Ortiz? Would you like to?
First of all, thank you all so much for taking a look at this and reinforcing the need for the fitness of all your employees. And our philosophy at the athletic club is there's 3 components to fitness. We always think about the physical, and sometimes, as you did, think about the mental, but we also want to focus on the spiritual. Those 3 legs are what makes a person really fit. And what we try and do at the athletic club is get all those components together so that every person that walks in, member or guest, stumbling through looking for directions, knows that they're appreciated and respected by our staff and everybody there. I want to invite everybody in the city, the county, everywhere to come by and see what we're doing over there. We built this, I am the husband of my wife, the owner, of the athletic club over there, Jennifer, for 45 years, so I didn't want to forget to mention her. Without her, we wouldn't be where we're at. But do want to invite everybody to come by and check it out. We're going to be sending out, hopefully, a 1 week, yes, Vance, can you? Would you mind? We're going to be asking you all to send that out.
Okay.
So the employees, invite them to have a free week at the club. And if they decide to get started, we're going to waive the joining fees so they don't have that restriction. I know y'all reimburse on the dues, but the joining fee shouldn't be a restrictive either for
Good,
them.
thank you.
So we're going to do everything we can to support what y'all are doing. And if anybody has any questions or anything, please feel free to contact us. Again, we're there to serve as God has asked us to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Federmine, I took an elderly neighbor, a veteran who recently lost his wife, and I was waiting for him in Marble Falls, and somebody commented that you and your wife and the things that you've done in Marble Falls has saved more children's lives by your swimming program than anybody can ever dream or account for a city that on the river like that, and that they were very grateful for you being there. So that was very nice to hear. Unrelated, I was just standing in the hallway waiting for my partner,
Yeah.
and somebody came up, was telling me how helpful your swim program has been for decades, saving children's lives there in Marble Falls. So thank
Too
you for
much
all
is
that.
given, much is expected.
Yeah.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was calling, just give me, come on, Evan, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you, Judge, and thank you, Shelley, for having us. Fermine said it best. It's a three-legged, stool here, and that's exactly what we're doing over in Bertram. So I would like to introduce, though, if I can, Marcus Escamilla, who really oversees the gym and does personal training. So we're given one body, right? So you and I get to make the choice of what we do with the body. So it's a lot of fun being in the fitness industry and just giving back to help, advance our body, so Bertram Fitness 24/7 gym in Bertram, Texas. So
Thank you.
thank you.
And so a few months ago, we heard from the Y about when we were talking about the aging and disability things that services they offer. They were invited here today. I'm sure something came up and Mr. Gary couldn't be here, but we just want you to know that we did invite all the major gyms in the area, the ones that I could get a hold of. So thank you for coming, Mr. Milliron. Thank you for coming, Mr. Ortiz. All right, so having that, do I hear a motion for this?
Move for adoption.
Okay. Commissioner Dockery has moved, Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? Is there any public comment on this issue?
Well, Gary's here now.
Oh, here's Gary. Come on up. Gary, come on up. It's your turn. He was out working out. He was too busy working out, so.
I'm not sure about that.
Thank you, David. Gosh.
Thank you. Thank you. Just tell a little bit about your program and
Thank you very much. Thanks, David. No, just a pleasure to be here as far as on behalf of the Y. Sorry about running a little late. We had to take care of something there. Just, for us, with regard to all programming, for the Y, we feel ourselves as a community partner with all the different agencies here in the community, whether it's senior programming, youth programming, anything of that nature. We've got a lot of different activities going on relative to aquatics, seniors. I look at our Sit to Be Fit program for seniors, 70 strong yesterday, on chairs, exercising, for the community. And it's the community that they're building within the community is really quite impressive. And we've got a couple of members that come in now that say it's a real part of their life. They were home alone, isolated. They found, camaraderie within the group. And really, it just really enhances what the Y does every day of building better lives for people. And one of the unique things with us too, we have scholarship opportunities through our Strong Kids program where we can benefit or we can scholarship folks that can come in to the Y that normally can't afford it and participate in our programming in all different levels, whether it's kids, seniors, adults, and we can make a greater impact with them as far as that's concerned relative to our programming. And, we're just very glad to be a part of the community and doing some of the different things that we do and trying to work, whether it's with the county, the city, or other entities as far as finding that niche where we can impact folks greater in a more positive way, certainly every day. That's really as far as what, we're about. Is there anything else specifically?
No, thank you. That's,
Judge, you
I
wanna-
really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And I was, I invited one of my old buddies, he's in his 80s and he's a former Marine and he's a little local rancher. And he says, well, Brian, I said, let's go to breakfast. He says, no, I got to go to the Y because I
Yeah.
feel better when I go to the Y
Yeah.
every day. So it's, you're a real treasure in our community. All these gyms are. We appreciate what y'all have done.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity and thank you. Thank you.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. No further discussion. All those in favor say aye. This is a resolution. All those in favor say aye. Excuse me. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all being here.
Need an apple box or something.
Y'all come on over here. Come on around here. Get a picture. All right, some of y'all need to come out front here. So we-
You're good, brother. All right. You're good.
Okay, ready?
Hold up 1 second. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Dakota.
Appreciate it.
See you again.
Good kids.
All right, I call agenda item number 6, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the approval of the Burnett County Treasurer's Monthly Report, July 2026. Is there any public, well, go ahead and do it, and then I'll see if there's any public comment. Thank you.
Tori Kuhn, Chief Deputy Treasurer. I have the July report. Our beginning cash was $85,076,202.42. We receipted $3,989,613.19. We had disbursements of $7,565,678.92. Total interest of $246,671.48, leaving us with an ending balance of $81,720,477.18. And we had a total vet rides donation of $1,763.05.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on this issue? Okay. Close public comment. Do I hear a motion?
Move for acceptance. Second.
Commissioner Dockery has moved. Commissioner Byerly has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 4, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the burn ban for the unincorporated areas of Burnett County, Texas.
Ed Hashbarger, Burnett County Emergency Management Coordinator. KBDIs are approaching 600. Humidity levels in the late afternoons are dipping into the 20s. A lot of fire activity still. We're seeing it in our county and surrounding counties. I recommend we keep the burn ban on.
All right, any further discussion, any public comment? Okay, all right, so there's no action to be taken, so I'll skip it unless there's an objection. Skipped all action. And then I call agenda item number 7, discuss, consider and take appropriate action regarding a final plat approval for Split Rock subdivision, a private subdivision consisting of 2 lots on 634 acres.
Nope.
Nope, 6.2.
6.34. 6.34.
All right. A private subdivision consisting of 2 lots on 6.34 acres located at 4220 FM 2342. Commissioner Luther, Mr. Darling.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners, Herb Darling, Burnett County Development Services. This is a simple plat creating 2 lots. The groundwater district has reviewed it and approved it. It's my recommendation to the court to approve.
And it has gone through the process. I move for approval.
Commissioner Luther has moved.
Second.
Commissioner Byerly is second. Any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, close public comment. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Call agenda item number 8, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action concerning naming a private road, Maldonado Lane, located off Prairie Point Drive, to comply with 911 geographical addressing guidelines. Commissioner Byerly?
Yep. Pretty simple. Move for approval.
Commissioner Byerly is moved. Commissioner Luther is seconded. Any public comment on the agenda item? Close public comment. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes.
Thank you, sir.
Call agenda item number 9, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action concerning a request to replace bond number SUR 2005273 in the amount of $4,704,964 with a new bond in the amount of $800,000 and bond number SUR 200055274 in the amount of $9,352,678.50 with a new bond amount of $800,000. Said bond pertains to the Thomas Ranch subdivision, Phase 1. Request reduce the amounts of bond to be due to completion of the project. Commissioner Dockery.
I'll let
Commissioner
Mr. Darling take care of that.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, Herb again. Thomas Ranch Phase 1 had substantial improvements to do. The work has been completed to a point where they're looking to do a bond reduction. And what it is, we're going to do away with 2 bonds, come back with 1 for the amount left to complete the project. I know the agenda states $800,000 for each, but work completed in this time period that this all began has brought that amount down to just under $400,000 total for the project. It's my recommendation to the court to release the 2 bonds and accept the 1.
For how much?
324, 851, and 3 customers.
Say that again, please. 324,000.
$324,851.35.
That would be the new bond, and there'd only be 1 of them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take a 2-minute recess. know, my 2 minutes, I forgot to call the time. Ah. I did say 2 minutes, didn't I? Just for the record, I called the 2-minute recess at 9:30. And just need to wait a few more seconds. That watch pop. All right, time is now 9:32. Come back into session. Ms. Darling, I'm just really concerned. This is such a great departure. I don't have any problem with the content, but the Open Meetings Act is very clear that the public has to be put on notice to be able to know what was being considered, and this just seems too great a departure. I guess I leave it up to the commissioners, but I'm really concerned that going from 2 really large bonds on the posting to 2 bonds to go to 1 bond, much smaller than the 2 together, is just too big of a departure for this court to consider. So I put it to the commissioners, if you want to make a motion, go ahead, but I'm very concerned that would be too far from the Open Meetings Act to allow this to proceed. So.
Well, can you, go ahead, place it on the next agenda. I was just gonna say, can you describe it more? Is this basically taking this, what is it, total 13 million? They had that much work to do. That was the estimated cost, right?
Yes, sir. And it was broken into 2 bonds. Part of it was water, wastewater. The other part was roads, infrastructure, grading, that type of stuff. The work has nearly been completed. We lack a concrete apron and a little bit to do with the water.
And I want to say, and before we get, too far in deliberating the issue, it's not the issue, it's the departure from the stated posting. This is what I'm concerned about. It's not, I'm not worried about if our development and service person makes a recommendation or whatever. It's just the concern that it's not properly posted, because if we post it to the public, we're going to take one set of actions, and the actions that we have presented are just too different from what was posted. And we can take it back up on the 8th. If it's an emergency, we can consider a special meeting, but I don't think it is. So unless there's is there a timeline involved here that you know of, Mr. Darling?
Might cost these guys a little bond money.
So it's a renewal period coming up or something like that?
Yes, sir.
When's it gotta be renewed? What's that deadline?
I don't know the exact date, but it's early to mid-September. So I think the 8th would be,
Acceptable.
it might be a little difficult for us, but I mean, in the end, if that's what needs to happen, it is what it is.
I hate to say it, but I tend to agree with the judge. I think it's a big departure from what's posted on the agenda. I'd like to see it reappear on the agenda.
Okay. All right, so for today, we'll skip it, and then we'll just turn it right back in with properly described in the next action.
Yes, sir.
And then if something comes up between now and then, right now, we don't have a special meeting planned, and if something comes up, then we can add it to another agenda that will come up before then. But until then, I guess we should just put it on the 8th. Make note of that time. And then get the modifications, please. So, all right, thank you.
Can I just make a note? I believe one of the bond numbers called.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know which
While
one.
while we're fixing it, would you check the bond numbers, please? Okay, thank you.
Surely that is stuff.
No.
Sure.
Surely not.
One of them has too many fives in
One
it.
has an extra 5 or one's missing a 5.
Okay, I call agenda item number 11, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding presentation and acceptance of the after-action report regarding the July 2025 flood response. Commissioner Collier, you want to introduce?
Thanks, Judge. As Mr. Clayton Held with, did our after-action report, and he's here to give a presentation for the after-action. You know, this report is kind of tell us where to go, what we did for the July 2025 flood.
Thank you. And Mr. Held, just for the record, I did put your executive summary in the Commissioner's Court package, but nothing else. So, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. My name's Clayton Heald. My company is Heald and Heritage LLC. I'm based out of Leander. I got an opportunity to bid on this contract and was awarded it. Just want to say, first off, the response that I got from the first responders, the sheriff office, the people that I worked with in Burnett County was tremendous. Everybody went forth. I think there were some, at the beginning, there was some consideration of this was going to be a finger pointing contest and things like that. But the way that it was facilitated and the way that people came around, we got had a lot of questions about what happened, and we got a lot of answers. And that's just because of y'all's staff that you have here. And it was a pleasure working with them. So this is the Burnett County July 2025 flood event. I had two deliverables. I had an after-action review and a corrective action plan that were delivered to Burnett County. Let's see. Wake up my computer. So the engagement approach used HESEP through FEMA. It was capability-based findings evaluated against HESEP's core capabilities. There's 32 of them, not the individuals, not who was out there doing the things, but the core capabilities. This was blameless, no statements attributed by name. Findings are organizational, not personal. I used evidence-based practices triangulated across interviews, surveys, sit reps, and technology data review. The actionability, every improvement area connects to a specific SMART corrective action, SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, responsive, and conduct. So in the evidence-based, one of the things that I did just to make sure that I felt like that I wanted to make sure that I had the agency's best interests at mind. Any interviews that I did, I sent those interview notes back to those people, and they approved them before anything went into the AAR, and we followed that process throughout. Primary mission areas, response and recovery. We evaluated 8 core capabilities, including operational coordination, situational awareness, public information and warning, and search and rescue, ground and air. We used the Peyote model, plan, organize, equip, train and exercise. That's one of the big things that I saw that is a really big need, is to keep focus on that. With this AAR, you're at the exercise level. This AAR puts you in the exercise level where you need to start using this information to plan and organize and equip. Keep losing my cursor. Conducted 12 interviews with individuals and response teams. We weren't getting some feedback from the other agencies, so I created a stakeholder response survey. I got 5 of those. Did over 10 plus agency and organizations were engaged countywide. Did a lot of independent research. Independent meteorological research, the warning timelines from the National Weather Service, things like that. The Cheatham District 12 the Cheatham SOC reports. I went through all those and looked at anything involved Disaster District 12, which y'all fall under. Looked at all those things, and I got with the Texas County Association and looked at their Everbridge notifications. Web EOC, CatCog, records were reviewed, ICS forms, CAD logs, anything like that was reviewed and brought into the AAR. And again, meeting transcripts were turned back over to the individuals before those went into the corrective, or AAR corrective action plan. The key findings, the sustains, the overnight weather monitoring that was conducted was tremendous. And the initial response was good, but it just wasn't probably fast enough and escalated fast enough. The ISAT and volunteer organization recovery coordination, over 1,300 cleanup requests processed within 7 days. Mutual aid response despite floodwaters, restriction travel routes to primary stage areas. That was one of the things that I noticed with the first responders. They did have things in place for go or no go because they didn't want to cause more victims, and that was really good. Stakeholder commitment to follow on county level flood exercise agreed during the AAR interview. So there was a lot of people in those AARs that realized that they do need more ICS training. They do need more incident response and emergency operation procedures put in place. The improved communications. Communications were a big problem, especially in the rural areas where they tried to move things in and the Verizon features and things like that. But they still didn't work. But the other, I guess the good thing about that was people adapted and overcame. They started using Find My phone, Find My to start tracking searchers and things like that. I talked to one guy, he said he had, after this incident, he had to go through his phone and clean up his Find My app because he had 300 people in that. The water rescue capability, it was limited. A lot of the high water vehicles that the county thought they may be able to use, or the first responders thought they may be able to use, didn't work for this incident. EOC capability, there was no dedicated planning section support, which delayed formal incident action plan documentation, and the exercise realism. Prior drills did not reflect actual response times on minimum staffing, masking gaps until the real event. So the after action review, it was a Homeland Security Exercise Evaluation Program. That's the standard under FEMA. It had a format of an executive summary, an incident overview, and a full capability analysis. Strengths and areas for improvement, documented capability by capability. The root cause analysis using the POETI planning cycle framework. Revision 1 submitted to the county, and then I had some more data come in, and so I submitted revision 2 before I started the corrective action plan. Incorporated all subsequent stakeholder interviews and survey data, and that was provided on the invoice numbers there on the slide. The corrective action plan or corrective action and improvement plan, there was 31 smart corrective actions across capability gaps identified in the AAR. Now, want to say this too, a lot of those things that happened that were wrong, a lot of the people have already put things in place to fix those. The county agencies haven't been sitting around this past year waiting for something to happen. There was all kinds of improvements already. Whenever we found something that was broken, there were things already being done within the county to fix those things. Each action assigned a responsibility, agency, position, priority level, and target completion date. Provided the Commissioner's Court executive summary produced for briefing purposes, and CAP revision 1 was completed and delivered, and that's what's on this invoice, is what's on this agenda now. So y'all know the next steps better than I do, but this was my guess. These are the next steps. The one that I know about is for the assign ownership. Each one of those corrective actions has to have an owner. Has to have an owner, has to have a drop dead date of when it's going to be done. If you don't give people responsibility for getting them done and you don't give them a drop dead date, things just get pushed. I would suggest doing a county level exercise, especially because of the geographical, I guess, conditions that Burnett County has of being separated. That was a big thing in the AAR. The north and south regions felt like that there was a separation between those two. And I think a countywide exercise with two EOCs set up following ICS format and working on those communication things and getting the people in place and having an organizational team, a planning team, a logistics team, a finance team, all those teams in there talking to one another. And then continuous improvement. Like I said, this is basically an exercise in itself. So now you have to take this exercise, go into the planning phase of the POETI cycle, plan it over whatever risk you want to look at, risk and hazards that you think are coming next. This flood, they said, is a 1 in 1,000 year flood. So it doesn't happen. But what's the next thing out there that's going to happen that is once in every 1,000 years? And those are the things that are hard to plan for. But instead of trying to plan for the incident, maybe plan for the things that you can control, mass casualties, points of distribution, sheltering operations, things like that. And start planning for those things, organize those things, and equip them and train them. So, and I'm a big POETI cycle guy, so that's why I always, it's easy. It's just a cycle and it's easy for me. I'm a process guy, so. I think I came under the 5-minute time frame. Any questions? Any questions for me?
So one of the things that is going to be, in addition to working through some of the issues that we need to resolve in turn, with, like you said, ownership and things like that we need to respond to, the timing of this goes right into our statutory required planning phase that we be doing over the next year for the state, right? So that's one of the reasons we were wanting to get this done now, so we can incorporate this into our overall emergency action plan, which is due next year, 2027? 28, okay. So anyway, we got time to address these issues and then make sure that we properly address that in the future. Any other questions, Commissioner? All right, is there any public comment on this agenda item? I do want to thank Commissioner Collier for taking the lead on this. That was really a critical part of, a lot of the stuff happened in your precinct also. So thank you for stepping up. I know the sheriff just left, but I want to thank him for cooperating and working well with us during the incident, as well as the time. And Chief, as you as well, and others in your department, this is really a critical thing to identify how we can do a better job for our citizens next time. So. All right, close public comment. Do I hear
I move to accept the AAR for the July 2025 flood response.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Collier has moved. Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Hill. Appreciate it.
Can I just
Just unplug it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
I want to blow anything up.
I don't think it will.
I got this too.
All right, thank you. I call agenda item number 3, public comments pursuant to Texas Government Code 551-007 and the Burnett County Commissioners Court Rules of Decorum. Any person may make comment on any agenda item not appearing on the agenda. Any comments made will not be addressed by the Commissioners Court during the public comment agenda item. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Is there any public comment for items not on the agenda?
Charlie Parker. As I talk with working people around Burnett County and Marble Falls, Bertram, and Burnett, I am noticing a common and disturbing theme. People are extremely concerned about money. Several people told me they have taken on a second job because of the rising cost of groceries, gas, and the things that their families need.
This is happening while the men on this court have the audacity to even consider voting themselves pay raises. And this is also happening while the elected servants on this court continue to waste the taxpayers' hard-earned dollars, then borrow and spend other people's money irresponsibly. When will the public servants on the Burnett County Commissioners Court make due diligence, transparency with the taxpayers, and their fiduciary responsibilities to the taxpayers a priority? A few examples of this court's irresponsible waste of taxpayers' money: $22,000 Baker Tilly forensic audit, $40,000 flock mass surveillance camera contract with no discussion, no transparency, no due diligence on the part of the four commissioners. $900,000 for Hart electronic voting systems leading to the March 2026 primary election scandal. February 26th, $27,000 Datafy geofencing location analytics demographics program. The taxpayers were intentionally misled about the capabilities of the Datafy software in the discussion by Mr. Wilson. April through July of 2026, $35,847 for outside legal counsel. August 17th, 2026, $15,000 to hire an IT consultant. That was shot down, unfortunately. August 25th, 2026, now another $40,000 for additional outside legal counsel. This adds up to $1,079,847,000 just on the 7 items listed above. How about this? Your employers demand that you stop wasting the taxpayers' money and stop borrowing money that the taxpayers are responsible for. Your benefit packages are all extravagant, including salaries, stipends, vehicles, medical insurance, retirement. No pay raises for the county judge, the 4 county commissioners, or the county attorney. In fact, across the board, pay cuts would be in line for your skill sets and the actual work that you all do. Lackluster performance creates mediocre outcomes.
Anybody else? Okay. Close public comment. I call agenda item number 10. Discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the issuance of a government letter of approval in support of Lone Star Faith LLC application to operate a new EMS provider in Burnett County, Texas, pursuant to Texas Health and Safety Code, subsection 773.0573. Commissioner Dockery, and then having someone to introduce.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. Yes, we have heard this agenda item. If it sounds familiar, we've been through this before, but Mr. Devine reached out to me and said that he had some additional new information he would like to share with the court in his attempt to obtain a letter of approval from our local government entity. Mr. Devine.
So before you begin, I want you to state your name for the record, but
yes, sir.
I do want to ask, you've looked over this statute that we've cited in this posting today, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then do you know the 2 issues or 3 issues that we have to decide today?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
I just want to make sure your presentation tries to address these 3 specific items.
Absolutely.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Before I get started, if it's okay, I did want to just acknowledge as far as the presentation for the flood and everything that you guys are doing just to take action for a future event and the possibility and just the after action. I was one of the boots on the ground during that event, and it was a very sad time in Lago Vista, and worked an extra day just because of what was going on, all the amount of people being trapped in their homes, and had a lot of close friends of mine pulling bodies out of the water, and a lot worse than that as well. And so just wanted to thank you guys for that.
State your name.
Joshua Devine. Judge and commissioners, as already stated, you've heard my proposal before. And so my goal today was to keep this time, just so that I don't waste your time, keep it strictly to the facts behind the decision and the three points that you've just stated before. So focusing on the growth and capacity, Burnett County grew from 49,000 people in 2020 to over 57,000 in 16.1. In every statement as well, I have cited and everything at the back in the index if you want to check all my sources as well, please. So that's up a 16.1% in 5 years. An older Texas Demographic Center projection put Burnett County at 53,000, over 53,000 by 2030. Considering that we already passed that in 2025, and if we were to continue at the pace that the county has been growing, it would put us near 66,000 by 2030. That is a trend estimate based off our current growth. Marble Falls grew from 7,000 people in 2020 to an estimated 9,600 in 2025. That's up 36% since 2020. Marble Falls' adopted plan projects 13,600 people in the city plus the extraterritorial jurisdiction by 2030. And the Marble Falls Economic Development Corporation's 2023 housing study estimated that the broader Marble Falls region at 98,000 people in 2022 and projected over 106,000 people by 2027. I include that just as a useful context to understand the amount of people that are drawn to Marble Falls for employment, commerce, and healthcare. This growth is already notable in the Thunder Rock Developments, which is planning over 2,900 residential units and home sites for families. We know that local agencies are also adding capacity. We know Marble Falls is building an additional station near Fire Station 2, where the call volume is growing, and they're also placing an additional ambulance at their Horseshoe Bay station as well. Burnett County is also adding a full-time ambulance through ESD 10, which we all know as well. I think it's safe to say that the growth and EMS demand are moving in the same direction. The month-to-month data provided to me by Marble Falls EMS is that they took 605 Baylor Scott and White transports in 2025, about 50 per month, and averaged 48.6 per month across 15 complete months through March of 2026. I was informed and told directly by Dr. Walk, the emergency department chair and trauma medical director at Baylor Scott and White Marble Falls, that that hospital generates roughly 150 outbound ambulance transports per month. I was also told that the ER sees more than 75 walk-in patients a day. About 5% of those patients require transfer via ambulance. Not including the patients brought in by ambulance, walk-ins alone calculate to about 113 to 116 transfers a month, giving you that as a useful cross-check for the data point of 150 transfers. If that data point of 150 transfers is accurate, Marble Falls EMS is handling roughly 1/3 of that. I understand that the IFT revenue supports public EMS. If that concern is enough to deny another provider, I believe it should be measured. How many transports would one Lone Star ambulance have to take before Marble Falls or Burnett suffers a material or financial impact? I'm not asking to take the work away from Marble Falls or Burnett, the work that they want and can handle. My goal is to take the overflow going outside the local systems when crews are tied up, short-staffed, at events, already transporting, or at capacity. I am open to quarterly reports and active communication with both services so that the actual volume and impact can be measured. The workforce reality of this is that Texas DHS documented rural EMS personnel shortages and long-distance transports are the main strain of any rural EMS system and prolonged 911 response. GTAC's 2024 plan says that almost every Texas EMS agency experienced significant staffing shortages, and Texas funded a $21.7 million for recruitment and retention. However, it was noted that they are still suffering from the exact same problem today, and that 21 million did not serve to do much. So what does this say? Buying an ambulance is easy compared to finding qualified people to staff it. Among all this talk that we've had and the multiple meetings we've had of growth, numbers, finances, ambulances, budgets, and territories, I ask you gentlemen to consider the people who do this job and what this job asks of them. This profession is not driving a truck. Judge and commissioners, I know the sound that a grieving mother makes when her child has just died from a drowning or from being hit by a car right in front of her. I've held an asphyxiated infant who was killed by his parent and performed full resuscitation even when I knew this outcome was going to be hopeless. I did this because until our responsibility ends, we do everything that we can. I know what it's like to do everything right, perfectly even, and still tell a family that they lost someone that they love. We step into scenes that most people want to forget. Someone has to do this. Some of us feel called to this. We clean up then and get ready for the next person who needs us. Judging commissioners in a different way, I believe you understand this service. You make decisions people criticize. You work hours people never see. People will take work for granted. They'll disagree with you and still expect you to be there when they need you. EMS has this exact same reality, and a patient doesn't stop becoming a patient because the call is labeled an interfacility transfer. If the person is riding for hours to Austin or Temple was your wife, your child, your parent, or someone's husband, you would want an experienced clinician who recognized deterioration and know what to do next swiftly. I'm going to close with a couple questions. Where's the evidence that one privately funded IFT ambulance would materially harm Marble Falls EMS or Burnett County Fire EMS? If protecting the IFT revenue is a concern, how much hospital transport work is already going to Austin area providers? With the county growing, local agencies adding capacity, Texas is documenting severe staffing shortages. What evidence shows one more local IFT ambulance is an oversupply? If I fail a statutory requirement, I ask you to tell me which one and show the evidence. Please decide the operation actually before you today and not what Lone Star EMS might someday possibly become. Qualified EMS personnel already limit the growth of this career. A small service can't absorb unlimited call volume just because these calls exist. If future expansion creates a real problem, I ask you to address it when the evidence exists and not as a hypothetical today. Thank you. I also just want to state my true purpose with this, as I've mentioned before, is during these transports to speak the truth of Jesus Christ to those people who are willing to hear. Thank you.
Is there any public comment on this agenda item?
Mr. Campbell, do you care to address the court?
Judge and commissioners, at this time, we have no objection to this request.
Just for the record, I want to make sure that everyone's aware that I made Director Campbell and Chief Ingram both aware that this was going to be on the agenda today. So,
okay. So according to the statute that I put in your book, there's three questions that we have to answer. The first one is the addition of another licensed emergency medical provider will not interfere with or adversely affect the provision of emergency medical services by the licensed emergency medical service providers operating in the municipality or county. So is there a motion to make that finding?
Are you going through each one?
Yeah, I think the statute it requires, I mean, the statute lists out 3 findings that have to be made by the Commissioners Court of Municipality. Yeah, or at least that's how I'm proposing to walk through this, is just call the finding out and then make a vote on the finding. I appreciate Mr. Devine's comment, but it's actually, it was incumbent. I think he's done a pretty good presentation, but it's actually, the way I read the statute is that it's up to us to make a determination whether or not this is going to impact existing providers. And
I guess, did we get any kind of statement from the Burnett EMS, the chief engineer?
well, they've been notified, and I notified them as well, and they're not here, so I didn't get a statement from them, but I'm just they had the opportunity to appear if they were concerned about it. That even regardless of what their stand on it is, we still, the law says the Commissioners Court or the municipality has to make the finding. If there's,
Well, taking their opinion or their,
sure, yeah,
carries a lot of weight, in my opinion
I
anyway.
understand.
So the chart,
Absolutely. And we would look to them for assistance on answering the determination number 1 as well. So hearing no objections from either EMS provider, I would move for approval of item number 1 in the court determination that it will not interfere
Okay.
or adversely affect.
Commissioner Dockery has moved.
Second.
Commissioner Luther has seconded. Is there any further discussion?
On this one,
Yes, sir.
is part of, once we approve this, then it opens the door for any other EMS to come in?
No, sir.
They all have
This-
to be approved. If any,
Each one seeking an approval letter from the Department of Health and Human Services would have to come in.
It's as far as a EMS service that's starting, you have to get the approval. Just because I'm starting here in Yawls County, I have to get y'all's approval. The situation where other Austin services are able to come in and take some of these transfers, that's because they're already an existing company that's been functioning for over 2 years. And so, for example, if I were working here for 2 years and I decided I wanted to go to another county next door, I'd be able to do so. But if I wanted to go and function there right now, I'd have to go and do this exact same process and get their approval to begin there. If I wanted to start in Austin, I'd have to get the county court in Austin.
Yeah, we already have outside ambulances operating in Burnett County.
And they come from another county?
They can come from other places. There's
The majority.
I'm not going to name them, but there,
Sure.
there's some to our west and there's many to our east that come over right now and pick up. So these IFTs or inter-facility
Yes,
transfers that you were
correct.
describing earlier, when one of the city of Burnett or Marble Falls EMS are not available, they have to call one of those other providers, either to our west or to our east. Could be some to the north and south, I don't know, but the ones I know about are east and west.
Primarily Austin services. There's 3 large services out there.
So number 1 ties to, will this negatively affect our existing emergency service providers, and they both do not object? Am I understanding that right?
So, the first finding is the addition of another licensed emergency medical service provider will not interfere or adversely affect the provision of emergency medical services by the licensed emergency medical services provider operating in the municipality or county. And that's what, that was your motion, correct, Commissioner
sir.
Dockery? And that was your second, Commissioner Luther? And so, the finding number 1 is, we've heard from Mr. Campbell saying that he has no objection to this provider starting, and then Burnett is not here, but they've not communicated separately to me that there was going to be an issue.
Okay.
So go ahead and just sit down just a minute. Thank you. We might need you again, but just give me, all right, any further discussion? So it's been moved that the establishment of this local provider will not interfere with the provision of emergency, and moved by Commissioner Dockery, seconded by Commissioner Luther. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. So on issue number 2, the addition of another licensed medical service provider will remedy an existing provider shortage that cannot be resolved through the use of the licensed emergency medical services providers operating in the municipality, or I'll just stop saying municipality and say county. Sorry, I was just tracking the statute. So is there a motion that the addition of another licensed emergency medical provider will remedy an existing provider shortage that cannot be resolved through the use of the licensed medical service providers?
I move for approval.
Okay, Commissioner Luther has moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Dockery has seconded. Is there any further discussion? All right. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. So on issue number 3, the addition of another licensed medical service provider will not cause an oversupply of licensed emergency medical services providers in the county. Do I hear a motion on that issue?
I move for approval.
Commissioner Luther has moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Collier has seconded. Is there any further discussion?
So the addition of ESD 10 and then the new station that Marble Falls is putting in, are we still behind when those get?
So all of that focus and the effort that we've already ordered the new ambulance for City of Burnett, and then the ESD is working on providing staffing that he was discussing was that there's already a statewide shortage. Those are for emergency services, what he's proposing, while legally, once he has this application approved, once he has the permit, he can move into the emergency space. There's no, once we approve this, then, but all of those new ambulances that we're getting through the grant funds and whatever additions are going on are just for emergency services, and stay available. And that is part of the reason why, the interfacility transfers get pushed on the back burner, because when a call goes out, and Mr. Campbell can explain this better, but they have to have a reserve, and that's going to be true even when that new station up in Briggs gets placed. There has to be somebody to go in and take care of the emergency. So as a matter of fact, in the previous meeting, Chief Ingram talked about how once that ambulance goes on an interfacility transfer over to Austin, then that they have to shift resources to allow for the emergencies, and they can only allow, what was it, Commissioner Dockery, I think you mentioned, it was something about, there was a time window when they wouldn't even do facility transfers because of that emergency issue. I don't know if you remember that.
I just remember Barnett stating in court that they didn't do transfers during certain hours of the night.
That's what I'm talking
Ascension
about.
seat.
Because of the shortfall in staff, night staff and things like that. So, all right, any further discussion? Any questions? All right, so it's been moved by Commissioner Luther, seconded by Commissioner Collier, that the addition of another licensed medical service provider will not cause an oversupply of licensed emergency medical service providers. So on that finding, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. So then, just going back to the core agenda item, we've made the three findings. And then, so then the final vote needs to be taken on to approve issuance of a government letter of approval in support of Lone Star Faith LLC application to operate as a new EMS provider in Burnett County. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Commissioner Dockery?
Second.
Commissioner Collier has seconded. Dockery has moved. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Congratulations. Okay. I call agenda item number 12, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the unclaimed property capital credits for counties in conjunction with the local government code 381.004 and authorizing the county judge to accept the funds available to Burnett County in an amount not to exceed $2,647.70. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, close public comment. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Commissioner Byerly has moved. Commissioner Luther is seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 13, discuss, consider, take appropriate action regarding modification of names and lengths of Burnett County roads and approve the TxDOT County Road Inventory. So this is something that I have to do by, what is it today? August 31st. I think the auditor's office has been helping me in the last couple of years. There was some slight modifications, but I understand that these modifications may not be totally correct. So I guess the first thing is that, did everybody get a chance to look over your list and make sure that the TxDOT list is acceptable other than these items that are on this road or on this list, these 4 items? Okay, and then, and then was there an error on one of these?
Yes, sir, on the TxDOT road name, Wordsdam, name change to County Road 426, showed 1.486 miles. It's actually 2.2 miles.
Okay, 2.2 miles. I'll go in, I have to go in and into the TxDOT system and make that modification. And these other modifications have already been made. They were just waiting for my approval. Any other changes? The rest of this is okay? Okay, sir. All right, do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
Commissioner Luther has moved. Second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Collier has seconded. Any public, I already asked for public comment, sorry about that. All right, all the, in further discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. With the modification that I just made, want to say for the record, the 2.2 miles. All those opposed say no, motion passes. I call agenda item number 14, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to decommission the Road and Bridge Precinct 4 electronic message board due to inoperability and to allow Road and Bridge Precinct 4 to retain for parts or to salvage as required. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Close public comment. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Commissioner Byerly has moved. Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 15, discuss and take appropriate action on modifying the interlocal agreement between the city of Burnett and Burnett County, authorizing the transfer and possession of the ambulance purchased by Burnett County using grant funds provided under HB 3000 to the city of Burnett, which shall become responsible for maintenance, insurance, and registration of the vehicle. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Close public comment. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Commissioner Byerly has moved. Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 16, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to approve out-of-state travel for Howard Steinhauer and Elizabeth Edwards to attend the annual Texas Association of Vehicle Theft Investigators, TAVD, conference in Norman, Oklahoma from September 28th, October 2nd, in the amount not to exceed $250 per person from Fund 291-5784-3300, plus travel, lodging, and meals from Fund 291-5784-4250. Any public comment on this agenda item? Close public comment. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Commissioner Luther has moved. Second?
Second.
Commissioner Collier has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 17, discuss and consider and take appropriate action to approve out-of-state travel for Staff Sergeant Josh Swain and Deputy Paul Kowalik to attend the Drone Sense Certified Instructor Course in Duluth, Georgia, October 27th through 29th, 2026. Any amount not to exceed $900 per attendee, plus travel, lodging, and meals from $100-$5,600-$4,270. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Close public comment.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Byerly has moved.
Second.
Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 18, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding a purchase for the Sheriff's Office, a machine equipment inventory fund 100, 5600, 5750 replacement camera for CID, specifically a Nikon Z50, to remain compatible in functionality and training with recently current issued cameras and equipment not to exceed $1,500. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay. Close public comment. Do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
Commissioner Byerly, Commissioner Luther has moved, and Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 19, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the Sheriff's Office lapse salary and benefits to purchase 1 year of a 5-year contract for Motorola Cloud Migration Cloud Server, suspend Burnett County budget policy to transfer $187,000 from the following funds: group insurance, 100, 5,600, 2020, retirement, 100, 5,600, 2030, approve interline item transfers of 110,989.51 from group insurance, 100, 5,600, 2020, to contracts and agreements, 100, 5,600, 4,000, approve line item transfers of 76,101.49 from retirement, 100, 5,600, 2030 to machine equipment capitalized, 100, 5,600, 5760. So first off, I want to say this is a suspension of policy to transfer this money, so it does require a supermajority on this case, four votes in favor. So I'm going to just call the question originally, and if there's any controversy or confusion about whether it's 4 votes, then I'll I'll go back and do a roll call. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay. Close public comment. Do I hear a motion on this agenda item?
I'll move to suspend the policy.
Second.
Well, you want to go ahead and take them all at the
You
same
want to do them
time?
all?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying I'd do them separately.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any question, there's your 4 votes, then I'll have to come back and redo it, but if you, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. To suspend the policy. You move, Barley has moved, is second? Did you second?
Second.
Okay, Collier is seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes with a majority, super majority. Okay, items B and C, do I have a motion for those?
I make a motion to approve B and C, but then I have some questions.
Okay.
Second.
Commissioner Barley has moved and then Commissioner Luther has seconded. Questions?
Chief?
Alan Trevino, Barnett County Chief
Thank you.
Deputy.
Thanks, Chief. So this is gonna fund the direction you're heading on the cloud migration software, which I think is fantastic. So this will cover the first year.
That's correct.
So at what point do we have to start looking at this hitting the budget for years 2, 3, 4, and 5?
Next year.
Next year we'll have to look at it.
Right, because this will fund just the 1 year, and there are funds, if available, to roll over in this current year's budget to do year 2. I think we'll have plenty to do that. I don't know if we would go any further than that, but that would, this current year's balance allows us to get, if allowed to roll over year 2 as well. So we're looking 2 years down the road if that happens.
So year 1 is 187. Does that include some startups? So next year will be a little less? Because isn't the total,
No, that is a per year.
it's a 187 a year?
Right, and so this is two actions. One is because there is hardware, and the second is because there is software. The hardware are the actual physical cameras, whether they be body mic cameras, or whether they be a vehicle camera. And so that's the hardware, and so those we need in year 1. Year 2s and 3s and 4s may change just as we continue to replace vehicles. But because we have replaced a number of vehicles recently, they are compatible with this upgrade. The ones that I think they picked 15 that we were not able to upgrade because the technology was too old in the cameras that we currently have. And so now they'll have the new ones, and as we replace vehicles, we did grab the two that we're purchasing out of Senate Bill 22 for this year. Or I'm sorry, for FY '27. So those are already being there. There will be no additional funds for next year. But as years go through and if the cameras are not transferable to the new vehicle, then we would also have a moderate expense from that point on.
Okay.
Which I'm going to add, we also include in our upgrades. So those cameras would come with a new vehicle anyway, because we include those in our upgrades. Upfitting, yes. I'm sorry, yeah,
I'm sorry, I was just
Yeah.
trying to see if there was a difference between the two terms. That's why I was really asking.
So the suspension of this policy for this year's money is gonna not prevent, I don't know if that's the word, but this money will roll into fund balance if we don't use it now, basically. Is
That's
that
correct.
So if we can use it and then work together to move forward each year to try to find those funds, just, obviously we're looking at a budget that can't take too many impacts, and I only foresee that getting worse, if we want to keep the tax rate lower, so.
And there's an opportunity to get 2 years out of this year's budget.
Okay, no, I appreciate that, and I appreciate your work in
But,
making that
yeah,
happen.
So to be clear about this rolling forward, I mean, this is, so for under state law, a service can only be done 1 year at a time. So
No, I
this, we're buying from here till, just say, just making up the date, September 1st of next year. So whatever we have to do for this coming budget that we're going to adopt on the 8th. If this isn't in there, then we need to get it in there. And so, because you cannot departmentally roll forward under Texas budgeting law. You can't run forward. You see what I'm saying? You can't run forward into a department. The county has to budget funds. So the only thing we're talking about here is a 5-year agreement subject to the under state law and subject to the availability of state funds. I don't know why I didn't put it on here, but like I did all the ones we're fixing to talk about. But if we don't budget it and yesterday we went over that, but I don't know that we covered this specific item.
We did not,
was
yeah, because this action needs to happen first so that we know
But
what's,
was this in there?
it was not, it was
Okay,
not.
So that's something we got to get on
Right.
what we were talking about yesterday. We need to get on that list.
That's correct.
For the 8th, okay,
Right.
to be clear. So this is one year of a 5-year agreement, which we often do, but you can't budget more than 1 year at a time by law, and you can't obligate more than 1 year at a time. So does that answer your question?
I understand.
Okay. All right. Any public comment on this agenda item? I've already closed public comment. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Thank you, Chief. I call agenda item number 20, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to approve, sign, and execute all necessary documents regarding the following for the sheriff's office, purchase and enter to a 5-year subscription of, oh, this is the second part. Okay, that was what it was for, moving the money. Subject to the availability of funds. I thought I'd had it in there. In future fiscal years for Motorola cloud migration, cloud server storage system, body cameras, and in-camera, dang it, in-car camera storage and authorization payment for the first in the amount, not first year, it's what's supposed to be in the first year, sorry for the typo, in the amount not to exceed $187,000 from Fund 100, 5600, 4000, and 100, 5600, 5760 as applicable. Is there any public comment on this agenda item?
Move for approval.
Commissioner Dockery has moved.
Second.
Close public comment. Commissioner Collier has seconded. I think you seconded, didn't you? Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 21, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding regarding budget interdepartment line item transfers, elections transferring $15,000 from contract labor fund 149,149.20 with $5,000 to operating supplies and 149,100, 3,300 and $8,000 to machine equipment inventory fund 100, 4,900, 5750 to purchase equipment, cages, and other supplies to improve office operations. B, Constable 1, Precinct 1, transferring $3,000 from travel mileage Fund 100, 5510, 4250 to machine equipment inventory Fund 100, 5510, 5750 to purchase bullet-resistant vests. Road and Bridge Precinct 4, transferring 66, 5687 from operating supplies 340, 6140, 3300 to machine capital equipment capitalized Fund 340, 6140, 5760 to cover the shortage for the purchase of the telehandler from Bobcat. Emergency Management transferring $25,000 from repair and maintenance 140, 60, 4520 to machine equipment inventory Fund 140, 60, 5750 to purchase handheld and vehicle radios and other equipment related to emergency management. And Western County Towers transferring $60,000 from miscellaneous Fund 100, 160, 40, 4070, 40, 4990 to machine equipment capitalized Fund 100, 4070, 5760 to purchase UPS equipment. Are there any public comments on this agenda item? Okay, close public comments. Do I hear a motion? Oh,
Stephanie Cooper, Elections Administrator. I wanted to point out, in mine, it should be 7,000 to operating supplies and 8,000 to machine equipment. The totals in there don't equal 15,000, but the attachment that was included with the agenda is correct.
Yeah, it's
Just the
just a
language in it.
typo. Should
Yeah.
have been, says 5,000, should be 7,000 in that first line.
okay.
With that amendment, I would move for approval of 21 in its entirety.
Second.
Commissioner Dockery has moved. Commissioner Barley has seconded. Any further comment? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. I call agenda item number 22, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to authorize the purchase of the following handheld and vehicle radios and other equipment related to emergency management in an amount not to exceed $25,000 from Fund 100-4060-5750 and UPS replacement for Western Regional Radio System in the amount not to exceed $60,000 from 160-4070-5760. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Close public comment. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Commissioner Barley has moved. Commissioner Luther second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 23, discuss, consider, take appropriate action for the increased purchase order obligations for legal fees for the following: increased by $25,000 for the law offices of Margaret Pemberton for the representation of Burnett County for the 765 transmission line, and increased by $40,000 for Bickerstaff Heath Delgado Acosta LLP for Burnett County legal representation. Is there any public comment on this agenda item?
Yes, sir. I have a comment on agenda 23B. Claire Nybro, Burnett County voter, taxpayer, interested person. Commissioners, on February 10th, you hired Bickerstaff Heath Delgado Acosta as general counsel with a $20,000 limit. Today, you are being asked to increase their purchase order by another $40,000. In July, this court transferred a total of $98,000 into the professional services line, $52,000 on July 14th and $46,000 on July 28th. The second of which was specifically, quote, to cover a shortage for legal fees, quote. I filed a public information request and received the unredacted Bickerstaff invoices for April, May, and July. The April and May invoices show legal work by Bickerstaff on the election problems. The July invoice shows extensive legal work on former County Judge James Oakley's demand letters seeking more than $218,000 for reimbursement of his legal fees. These two issues are likely at least part of the reason this court continues to increase Bickerstaff's spending authority. The July invoice is on today's agenda as part of the Expense Approval Register Report 2 under item 24. The public has never been given notice of James Oakley's demand for over $218,000. It has never appeared on an open agenda and never been discussed in public. The county attorney has sent 2 requests to the Attorney General seeking to withhold information on the election issues, and Bickerstaff has sent a request seeking to withhold information on the Oakley demand letters, even though both matters are of significant public interest. A formal demand for more than $218,000 against county funds is a claim on public money. The complete failure to give the public any notice of that demand while paying Bickerstaff to advise on it and seeking to keep the details hidden is exactly the kind of secrecy the Open Meetings Act was written to prevent. The court is spending significant public money on high-stakes legal advice while keeping James Oakley's demand for more than $218,000 completely hidden from the citizens who are paying the bills. Last week, serious election discrepancies were raised in this very room, and still there has been no public acknowledgement. This court is hiding the truth on major issues from the people who vote and who pay the bills. The public is entitled to know why these requests for additional legal fees keep recurring. I am placing these facts on the record today, and Madam Clerk, I would like to submit these records to you personally for the record. Thank you, ma'am.
Charlie Parker. I object to this court decision to use the taxpayers' $40,000 to pay for outside legal counsel on top of the $35,847 already paid to this legal firm. Eddie Arredondo is the elected county attorney and is paid a salary and benefit package that the taxpayers of Burnett County pay for. There are also additional attorneys on the county attorney's staff. Why does the Commissioners Court need additional representation? Why is this being covered up? Obviously, the cover-up of the $75,847 cost for legal advice pertaining to the disgraced former Judge Oakley's demand extortion letter for payment of his personal legal fees, $218,000. Why did the county attorney not provide this advice and legal guidance to the court? Is there something else that's being covered up, hidden from the taxpayers under attorney-client privilege? Or maybe this is being used by the appointed county judge for his personal legal representation. And also as a way to keep Mr. Wilson's official duties while acting as the appointed county judge and chair of the Burnett County Elections Committee hidden under attorney-client privilege. Are there potential legal problems for Mr. Wilson being covered up by Mr. Wilson? Looks bad, smells really bad, Mr. Wilson. No more taxpayer money spent for outside legal counsel to pay an increase of $40,000 to Bickerstaff, Heath, Delgado, Acosta, LLP.
Anybody else? Close public comment. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Commissioner Dockery has moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Luther is seconded. Any further discussion?
I know we can't talk about on Margaret Pemberton stuff for the 765s. Is this for more services or is this for the anticipation of the hearing or not?
I think what the auditor told me was that there was I guess the last bill where she had what was it? The ALJ that we just got a favorable disposition on. She had gone out and had to get a lot of the trial transcripts. So, and I think you were on one of those emails where she had to go out and get the ALJ's court reporters to provide certified copies of the record so she could start working on secondary things. So went over about $800. And so my best guess, again, I talked to her one time, but we're out of the ALJ process now. We've obviously got a ruling, but she's going to continue to represent us at a lower level. In other words, what I'm saying is not as many hours, but she will go to the PUC meetings for us. And again, we're very careful on this one, as Commissioner Byerly, I know you've been taking the lead on this, but we've been very careful to stay in our lane. We're not picking routes, and we are not putting neighbor against neighbor, and we're only focusing on the violations of law that these entities have made and taken against Burnett County and Burnett County residents. So on that, the representation is very narrow for that purpose.
No, I understand.
Okay,
And then I just to say, Ms. Pemberton's involved in the process as a citizen as well and has been spending a lot of time on this, representing us well, but also, and when she's there on her behalf, obviously we're not getting charged, but she's fully invested. I just want everybody to realize that we're on that part of it that I'm involved in. So,
all right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 24, discuss, consider, take appropriate actions for authorization of payments and claims previously approved by the Burnett County auditor. Should be two claims sets in here. That's what I was looking at this morning. So, or received them by email, I guess is.
move for approval.
Second. Commissioner Byerly has moved. Commissioner Collier seconded. Any public comment? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 25, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to approve, sign, and execute all necessary documents for the following Constable Precinct 1, purchase and enter into a 5-year subscription subject to the availability of funding in future years for 2 Motorola in-car camera systems and authorization payment for the first in the amount not to exceed $18,967.12 from Fund 100, 5510, 5750. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Close public comment.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Barley has moved. Commissioner Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 26, discuss and consider and take appropriate action regarding to approve, sign, and execute all necessary documents and actions regarding the following contracts and agreements to be approved or ratified, enter an interlocal agreement between Burnett County, Texas and the city of Burnett, Texas concerning improvements to Shady Grove Parkway with a county contribution not to exceed $15,000. Enter into a service agreement for an M500 extended warranty between Motorola and Burnett County Constable Precinct 4 for an in-car camera, I have trouble with that word today, in an amount not to exceed $115. Enter into FY 27 CAPCOG interlocal agreement for 911 geographic information system database management and execute the project representative and designated alternative to an amount not to exceed $129,416.08 with no county match required. Renew the 3-year Leads Online contract for law enforcement software tool used to assist in the recovery of stolen property in an amount not to exceed $7,308 per year. Enter into a contract between Burnett County Tourism, Civic Plus for virtual webmaster services for the Burnett County Tourism website, an amount not to exceed $565 for the use of the remainder of FY 26, and continue that contract or enter into a contract between Burnett County Tourism and Civic Plus for the virtual webmaster service of the Burnett County Tourism website in the amount not to exceed $7,122.15 for FY 27 beginning October 1st, 2026. Is there any public comment on these agenda items? Okay, close public comment. Do I hear a motion?
I would recommend that, Commissioner, if you'd like to amend 26A to include an order, which I don't see included with the interlocal agreement, but
Yeah, an order. Not today.
I thought it was attached within the interlocal originally.
I don't know. Just isn't on the agenda. I don't have, let's see if it's.
I thought it was all one document.
There is an order. Yes, there is an attachment of an order, just not called out on the agenda.
Okay,
Very good.
so we did provide notice that there was an order attached to this document. So we want to go ahead and call it out on the record, the order of the Burnett County Commissioners Court approving the interlocal cooperation agreement with the city of Burnett. And I think that does follow under approve and sign and execute all necessary documents and actions required for the following contracts. Okay. Okay, is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Commissioner Brock, for all of them? I just want to clarify, for all of them?
Yes.
Okay. Our second. Okay, Commissioner Barley has moved, Commissioner Collier seconded. Any closed public comment? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 27. Discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to approve, sign, and execute all necessary documents regarding the Burnett County Vet Rides. Accept the notice of grant award from the Texas Veterans Commission for a period from September 1st, 2026 through August 31st, 2028, in the amount of $105,000 with no county funds match required. And then B, explore options and provide input to the county judge regarding the program manager position for FY 27. So the first issue, I think, is just plain and simple. We've got a grant for $105,000. It's a little over double what we had last year. So
Move for acceptance of the grant.
okay.
Second.
All right. And then Commissioner Dockery has moved on, and Commissioner Byerly has seconded. I'll go ahead and just take the vote on the acceptance of the grant, and then I'll lay out the other issue with Vet Rides if you don't mind. Any public comment on accepting the grant? Okay, close public comment on that issue. And then any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Okay, so on the second issue, our longtime Vet Rides, I guess for the last 10, 12 years, lady has resigned. So the way this program works now is it's a it's been funded with, like when we got $50,000, you heard the treasurer say earlier, somebody donated $1,000. People are donating money. So there's the county is managing a pot of money. So when the grant gets cut, we continue to pay as a contract employee, Sophie McCoy. And it's just heartbreaking, but she's had a change in her life and she has to, she can no longer manage this program. And so she's going to do it till the end of September, but she's really in a stressful position and we need to try to make an adjustment. So a couple people have reached out to me that might work out. I can continue it as a contract employee, but I guess I just wanted to get some input from you guys because when Sophie and I have met over the years, it's a lot of work for $23,000. It's almost a mind-numbing amount of work for a volunteer. And it's her and her husband were doing it side by side for the last decade. And I don't know how we're going to get somebody to work that hard. That I need some help because I'm very concerned. This is one of the most, you may know that this program covers Llano, North Blanco, Lampasas, and Vernon counties. And if there's although the grant is actually pretty strict about, they can't go very far outside their area. We've gone to Lampasas, picked up a vet way out in the country, almost towards Evan, driven them back to the HEB just so they can get some groceries. This is a service. This is a hardcore service business that this lady's been doing for us. And just, anyway, I need some help.
No, I think we're all huge fans of what they're doing and accomplishing. Do we have a job description that do we have that or we need to get one?
Well, that's what I'm right at the beginning of this process. I've reached out to Ed and the VFW to help me. Sophie sent me 2 emails yesterday of people who or maybe one lady moving into the area that might to help take care of her father or something. I don't remember the details, and then somebody else that might be interested.
I think a job description and then weigh that to possible compensation that makes sense. And then weigh it.
Now, the one thing that I don't think we can move around for the grant, in other words, they said that, please, if I'm a little wrong on the dollars, but it's like 23,500. Is that, like, that's hard set in the grant. That doesn't mean we can't do other things. This grant is not, kind of in a segue to that, just to, again, while we got this posted and I don't want to get this too far, but our veteran service officer is overwhelmed with work with so many veterans coming into our area and depending on him. So there's one thing we have to deal with this at a public hearing on the 8th with the budget, but we can try to figure out some way to get him some help and maybe support our veterans with this. I can, if y'all are interested or give me input, I could go to the Texas Veterans Association, see if we could use, instead of right now, it's a contract thing, could we have an employee pay part of a salary and then get our veteran service administrators? Is that something y'all be interested in me checking out? And
I think so.
Again, can't make decisions here about this, but I need input to start doing some research. And then
with Ms.
Mr.
McCoy on the job
Hashbarger is the
description.
vice commander or vice president of the VFW. And then I reached out to Bill to see if he could help me either really, we're talking about either somehow finding a replacement, whether it's going to continue to be a contract employee. But, when I took my 96-year-old neighbor down to the Veteran Service Office last week, and there was a line standing there with people waiting to get in to see Bill for all kinds of things. Bill Worley, our Veteran Service Officer. So the demand is there. The lady, I was standing out there waiting in the hallway, and the lady said he's just tied up all the time. He's just, if he's on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, there's just always a line to go see him. So anyway, any other input? And I'll bring
I
this
can
back
just-
at the next meeting.
Just tell you, I've been a huge advocate for vet rides since its inception and want to try to maintain this program in any way we possibly can to support our veterans. So I am a big advocate and I would love to provide you the options to explore.
And we don't have to take a vote
Yeah,
on this,
well, I
but
mean-
I've got to figure out something and come back to you with with something pretty quick, because so many people's lives depend on this. It's just incredible. And you saw wasn't earlier this year, somebody had passed away and they left a significant contribution to VetRise because of what this program had done in their lives. So it's incredible. All right, thank you for that. I'll keep working on it and get back to you at the next Commissioners Court. All right, I call agenda item number 28, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to select vendor from quotes received from Cable Management Project in Burnett County Sheriff's Office in amount not to exceed $20,000 from Fund 710, 5040, 5770, previously approved in the Commissioners Court on January 27, 2026 for fiber and connectivity. And this one is,
Well, after talking with the county attorney, it was for quotes.
okay,
So that we can go out or we can pick one, correct? If it's a quote, and we verified it with auditor, that it was sent out as a quote.
The concerns that were brought up are don't apply because that's forbidden. So you can move forward if you choose.
but we don't have any quotes in here.
We had them there on it, they were sent, they just didn't make it to this. We had 4 quotes, correct?
Correct.
And so what was the concern that under?
That we weren't gonna go with the low one, we were gonna go with the best value, which was, we got 4 quotes, one of them couldn't meet the deadline, one of them just didn't wanna bid it. The third one didn't wanna do, basically, the low guy came in, he didn't do a site visit. And this is one of those projects, you needed to come look at it. And they didn't wanna come look at it.
I guess when we talked about putting this on the agenda, there was a written this project description that was supposed to be included in here. Did that not get written?
That's what the job, the
work
what we
description?
sent out, the scope of work for the proposals was in that email.
Okay,
And the 4 quotes we received were in that email. They didn't make it into this agenda packet.
but they were sent last night, correct?
No, they were sent. Well, when I
To-
put
I
it
mean-
on last week, it was all in that email string.
Okay,
That would entail me, the IT director, Madeline, county judge, and auditor. Yeah, because it was, Miss Ashley was on there.
Do we have a copy of the one you want to approve?
We can get one here shortly.
Greg Harris, Director of Technology and Cybersecurity. This went through the auditor's office. This was not from the technology department. So they had all the documentation and they did the quote selections.
we didn't, I didn't see any until late last night or yesterday evening.
Well, can we get them printed out real quick? Just
I'll
pass
tell you what,
through again?
let's put this to the end and let's go to number 29. Let's finish the rest of this real quick. And then we'll take a recess, get it. All right. Okay. All right, discuss, call agenda, we're gonna hold off on this just a minute. I call agenda item number 29, discuss, consider, and take action to select a vendor from quotes received from Burnett County Laptop and Desktop Computers and purchase laptop and desktop computers previously authorized by the Commissioners Court on July 14, 2026 and July 28, 2026 from funds 15040, 5750, and 14950, 4090, 5750 in the amount not to exceed $144,338. Is there any public comment on this agenda item?
This is the one we've been working on, seems like for months. And the auditor went out with the specs, I'm assuming we sent, because some of these still don't match our specs, but at least we've got a list to go by. And we can eliminate and ask Mr. Harris for his recommendation. Or however y'all wanna, however you wanna do it. The desktop, I will say that one we looked at, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Harris, but that one is the very first one, that Dell Pro Slim Plus, and the manufacturer number, it's the lowest. And that will meet our requirements.
That's correct. It's the lowest and best value according to our technology spec.
And that one does meet all your requirements
Yes, sir.
for network. Okay.
And then the laptops?
So on the laptops, we did a comparison. I'm not sure what was sent out from the auditor's office. I provided the court the specification that was requested in our last court session of what the technical specification for the laptops. The first three fell from a requirements perspective. I don't want to get into the technical detail, but they did not meet our minimum specs. From this list, the Dell Pro 5, $3722 in costs, and the Dell Pro 16 of $3839 of costs, and the Microsoft Laptop 8 of $3731 are the lowest, and the specs meet our requirements. And with that being said,
Is that the Microsoft Surface laptop? Is that the one?
Yes, sir.
Right there, okay.
and with that being said, as the technology director and cybersecurity, we recommend maintaining the Microsoft Surface laptop standards to ensure consistency in cybersecurity, endpoint management, support, and lifecycle administration.
Which Microsoft Surface laptop manufacturer number do you recommend?
It is the EP2 51179.
So there's two of those on here.
Yeah, there's an EP2
About a
51204.
Basically three different quotes.
And I'm not sure, sometimes it's a color specific, but the ones that are currently available are the color black. And I think there's north of 50 or 60 available.
Is that on here, or is that, is that the black?
I think the 79 is the black,
Okay, all right, thank you.
if I'm.
There's
remembering
three
right.
79s on there, that's why.
Well, they're all from different.
They're
vendors.
from different vendors,
Right.
and this is where that competitive quotes comes into handy.
Okay. All right, so it'd be the DIRCDWG or whatever vendor. Okay. All right, is there a motion?
Can we approve multiple laptop vendors?
Well, there's only one. Oh,
On the laptops, you're saying that I'm understanding that there's four, is that correct, that meet the standard?
there's three that meet the standard. They just come from different different suppliers or vendors.
Okay.
So see, CDWG, they give a price, SHI gave a price, and ADA gave a price.
So the Dell, I thought he said the Dell did meet the specification.
The Dell Pro 16 Plus
Right,
for $3839
right.
meets the
Okay, that's what I thought.
minimum
So-
specs.
So yes, you can approve.
However,
Oh, go ahead.
However, again, from a cybersecurity perspective and our security posture within the county, we are recommending stand with the Microsoft Surface laptop as our standards.
Which one?
That's going to be your EP2 51179.
So that same computer there's three vendors that offer that computer at three different price points.
Well, yes, that's what you currently see, but there's hundreds of vendors who offers this computer, so that's why we go out for quotes.
Right, no, I understand.
Okay, so
I would say we just pick the manufacturer number, and then purchasing can go find the best price on those units.
If we're looking to do a mass purchase, they have the information for what we're speaking of today to go out and do a mass purchase over $100,000. And that would be an RFP process.
Okay. So are you looking for us to adopt these specific desktop and laptops then, so that you then can go out and get?
So the auditor can go out and purchase them however, whatever requirements she needs.
Okay.
If we're buying just a few, I think, then she can just, but if we're buying a bunch and it's gonna hit over that 100,000 mark, but basically, these are the ones we need, she can go purchase them.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do
So
that.
if we approve the desktop Dell Pro Slim Plus QCS 1250
Yes.
and
Let's, just for the record, it's manufacturer number 30002052555670. Just want to
That's
get
the
that on
one.
the record, please. Go ahead. So you're making a motion, I assume?
yes.
Okay.
Move to approve that as the desktop. And I move to approve the Microsoft Surface laptop manufacturer number EP2 51179.
Okay. And then direct the county purchaser to purchase those. If you don't mind filling out your, for the previously approved laptops and desktops. Is that?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and he's been moved to.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Barley has moved, Commissioner Collier has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Amen. I call agenda item number 30, discuss and consider take appropriate, we're skipping that, 30?
Yeah, we're skipping 30.
Okay, skip.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
We're still working through some details on that one.
And so we'll go ahead and do agenda item number 31, just acknowledgement of receipts for the following: Bluebonnet Trails Community Service Contract Rate Increase Notification, PEC connections for August 10th and 17th, Parks and Wildlife Notice of Intent of a Prescribed Burn. Please, everybody, pay attention to that it's going to be a little smoky up in the northwest corner of the county. City of Cottonwood Shores Notice of Public Meeting for rezoning, and TEC Notice of Application for Opportunity to Request a Public Meeting for Municipal Solid Waste Facility, TECQ, Temporary Debris Site approval, and then Burnett County Auditors 2026 Financial Report of July. Is there any comments or questions or public comment about those issues? Okay, so now the time is now 11:03, and we're going to take, I think,
A short break.
a short break, 11:03. Is that how I do it? Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that.
Time is now 11:22. Call session back into order. Commissioners Court back into order. Go back to commission, agenda item number 28, discuss, consider, and take, is that right, correct? 28.
Yes.
Discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to select a vendor for quotes received from the cable management project at the Burnett County Sheriff's Office in an amount not to exceed $20,000 from Fund 710-5040-5770, previously approved Commissioner Court on January 27, 2026, for fiber connectivity.
All right, now we're back. First off, sorry we didn't get these attached. But if anybody wants to look at them, you're welcome to come up here and we can show you what they look like. What we got was, one came back and said we couldn't do it in that time frame. This is extremely time sensitive. And I'll lay it out a little bit. This is part of our make ready for our fiber project, the fiber that's coming into the sheriff's office, the IT room, the telecom room. It's got to have the cables are just, it looks like a spaghetti bowl in there. So we're having them come up, clean it up, and put a new rack in. It's basically an extreme cleanup to get ready for the fiber. They've got the fiber sitting out there already to be installed. And this needs to happen beforehand. We got these quotes, and one company, the lowest one came back. They wouldn't even come look at it after it was kind of suggested that you need to come look at this building. I think they were out of San Antonio, so they probably didn't figure out what their time. I don't know what they were. And after talking with Mr. Harris, we wanted to go with, ComServe gave us two. One of them is for labor, one of them is for material, just to keep it split out, but it adds up to 19,000 and some change. And that's the one I am recommending, is ComServe Pros. And
Did they actually come out?
they came out and looked at it. And they're the ones, they've done our data center, they built our data center out. So we know their quality of work, and they came out and looked at the job thoroughly. And we have no reservations getting them to come do it.
And did you have a written document that Bridgehead looked at to?
Yeah, we sent emails, pictures that they all got to look at.
Greg Harris, Director of Technology, Cybersecurity. This, once again, went through the auditor's office. They provided the details to the vendors for quotes. So they sent that information out.
But they provided a written document for these vendors to review? Is that what you're telling me?
I can't specify what they provided. They took that process on.
Okay, that's a little different than what you just said. We didn't have a description of work that.
I said, I can't verify what they sent out, but they took that process.
And then they took it on and got the quotes.
Okay.
Everybody looked at the same job, the same scope of work.
Okay. All right.
So which one do you recommend? Which one fits your needs?
Both the ComServe Pros, one's for labor, one's for material.
Which total is $19,972.90.
Yes, sir.
And you have that in your budget?
This is part of our 710 budget, yes, sir.
It's coming out of that fiber install budget.
I move for approval of that ComServe Pros labor and materials quotes.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Byerly and seconded by Commissioner Luther. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Close public comment. So, Commissioners, I'm very concerned about this item. I'm going to vote against it, but I want to tell you why. Number one is the material was not provided in advance, and so the public didn't have any idea to make a selection of a vendor that's twice as much as one, or almost exactly twice as much as one, is a really, really bad idea if you didn't have the specifications available for the public to review and to see what we're supposed to do. And I just really encourage you to rethink this. I'm not sure, number one, that it was adequately posted for the public. My staff, the facilities people have been working diligently on getting the firewall built to get ready to put this material in. And they were telling me a couple days ago, I guess today's Tuesday, so it's late last week, about they've been working really hard to hurry up and get the firewall put into these rooms so they can be able to organize the cables behind that firewall. So I'm all in for the project. I don't have any problem with the project. This is extremely important that we get the system done. But with this posting the way it was, and then turning around and selecting a vendor that's just about twice more expensive is not a good look. And I think it provides quite a bit of liability for the public to come back and say, why, if you had clear specifications required for this job, you spent all this effort building a firewall to get ready for this project, and then you're going to select a vendor that's twice as much. So anyway, that's my reasons why. And if there's any other further discussion, I'll take that now. So
Commissioner Collier, is there any reason why this couldn't be moved to the next agenda?
Or a special.
Or, yeah, we need
We
to
can do a special.
Time sensitive then.
Yes, sir. It's time sensitive and it will cost the county money for delays. It's in our contract with the fiber vendor if we're not prepared.
We go ahead and just post that. And then for the next available date, go from there.
what's the earliest? If we posted today, the meeting would be Monday. So, yeah. I mean, again, so I did have the maintenance staff finish the input line a couple of weeks ago. That the fiber is ready to be installed in the building. Did something happen that no longer is the case?
Well, this has got to be, all this has to be cleaned up before we bring that fiber.
I understand, but the contract that he just mentioned with the fiber.
Well, they've got to terminate it. So we've got to have this completed before they can terminate it,
Correct.
before they can test it, before their contract is complete.
So
to finish their contract, we have to get this done, and this is going to hold them up.
A few weeks ago, I worked with Herb to make sure that the input into the building was completed, and I was told that was done.
Yes.
Okay, and there's currently a system of wires and cables and stuff already there. I understand that it's not in its best condition, but the punch through into the wall, into the sheriff's office is complete and ready to accept the fiber. And they are operational right now with other systems and this. I'm okay with the special session, but I'm very concerned that it's a really bad look for us to not have clear specifications ahead of time posted to the public and then accept a vendor that's twice as much money as the contract without knowing. But everything else is operational in that building right now. Everything.
Well,
the sheriff office
that's
is
two
fully
different
operational.
whole, yeah, that's a whole. Yeah, the sheriff's not going to go down by any means.
All right.
But the contractor, with our contract, like I've said from the very start, we've hit so many roadblocks. They're going to hit us with delays. If they've got to pull off and mobilize it, pull off because they can't finish and mobilize back, then we'll be right back to about the same price we were.
Well,
So it's,
again, when we talked a couple of weeks ago, after our conversation, I went through and made sure that the punch throughs were ready and that everything was ready to be connected inside the building. And that's what I was told had been done.
That part,
This is.
Can I provide some clarity? Because we're using the word punch through. So the entry point into the building has been complete.
Okay,
The
thank you.
fiber cannot land into the actual server room until this work has been done. This requires us to move old fiber and move existing patch panels and things of that nature to the new rack. So that stuff cannot be moved unless we move cables. And that vendor, ProConserve, will be the people doing that to allow the people coming in from the fiber contract to put it into the housing unit where it should be. So that's two different things.
All right, any further discussion?
And I'm sorry to reiterate some stuff, but the one that's half, the concern is that they didn't look at the project?
They did not come out and take a look at the requirements, the physical presence of that room. And my experience, that price will not do what we need them to do. And I would gather that they didn't want to come because they were coming from San Antonio.
When you compare what they're giving though, did they leave anything off?
It's the actual work that needs to be done. I don't think they really understood it.
Oh, they're just providing the
labor
rack.
access.
So what they provided was speculative. They did not get a thorough understanding. This is not uncommon in any other quote process that we've had in the county. Sometimes you get a low bid and you have to verify.
But you didn't do that before today, correct?
And once again, the auditor's office were responsible for the quotes. We did not participate in this process. They went out for all the quotes. Ms. Edwards is the one that's communicating on those emails.
But you didn't see this document beforehand? That's what you
yes, well, we validated this, which one we were gonna use. We evaluated all of them.
And so what's missing off of Bridgehead that's on comp set, since you evaluated?
I don't have the documents in front of me, Judge, but I could tell you for that amount of money, they do not have a thorough understanding of what we're requiring. And we're not comfortable with that bid.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Well, I'm sorry, I was reading, this can't wait till Monday? Gonna cost more?
It's gonna run us into some issues with timing.
So if it's approved today, they can start work when?
Saturday.
When? This
Saturday.
weekend. It's gonna have to happen over a weekend.
Yeah, because we have to take things down, so we can't take the county down.
I withdraw my second.
Okay.
Until we get this worked out.
Okay. Commissioner Byerly has moved. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Commissioner Collier has seconded. Any further discussion? Okay. I'll go ahead and do a roll call on this. Commissioner Luther,
No.
Commissioner Byerly,
Aye.
Commissioner Collier,
Aye.
Commissioner Dockery,
No.
and then I vote no. All right, I'll set it for a meeting Monday, and then what was the other one? We'll notify her, Darling, about the bond issue.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, whose precinct is that? Was that? is
Joe
that
Don-
your-
yeah, Joe
Commissioner
Don.
Dockery? Okay. All right. Anything on calendar review? Just please remember everybody to, we got till the 11th to do the transportation plan. Please notify your stakeholders, anybody you can to participate in the transportation plan. So we're going to wrap that up on the 11th of September. So please, we need all the people. We've got, I think it's a couple hundred, I don't know. It's quite a few. And then a lot of people, well over 100 attended the different sessions. So anything else? Okay,
We're gonna have set a special for the 31st.
that's what, we'll get that ready for those two items that we need to set a special. Is anybody, yeah, let's do the calendar. What do y'all have? I'm sorry.
Not before one, we have salary agreement.
Okay, okay, thank you. So what, everybody, 1 o'clock on the 31st will work?
We have our sound meeting.
I'm sorry? I do, okay.
That's our.
Oh, yeah, so, 3, what about 3 o'clock? 3? I know you hate to come in that late, but is that okay?
That's fine.
No, I was talking about Commissioner Dockery. Oh, well, you probably hate to come in that late.
I hate to
too,
come
but-
out.
All right.
I must have done early in the morning.
Any, 3? Okay, all right. I call agenda item number 34, adjournment. I'm sorry. Yes, I just did it. Was there anything else on calendar review that anybody else had? Okay, all right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So second.
Byerly has moved, Luther has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. We are adjourned.